Welcome to Prime Debate. Equal opportunity is the approach of the employers to ensure being fair and impartial in the employment process. But it's also a fact that the workplace is more demanding than ever before. So saying no to one potential employee and yes to the other could be because of several reasons. That said, the question we are asking today in this debate is whether women in the workplace don't have to fight nearly as hard for opportunities or to dispel stereotypes as they did before. Women drive as much of the world economy as men. Roughly half the world's population is women, but that half only earns 1/10 of the world's income. Despite commitments to gender equality, why is change so slow?
Any kind of gender bias is bad. More so at the workplace where historically women employees have suffered over the decades. However, it has a new face too. Now, it is less acceptable to brazenly discriminate against women. Discrimination in terms of the type of assignments, physical reliability in situations where one's physical self has a role to play. There is a stereotype in the Oriental world that women make better doctors, paramedics, teachers than engineers, businesswomen, etc. Such stereotypes over the years have turned into self-evident truths. And that is the danger working women face today. The story does not end here. One half of the other side of the coin is that do men too feel discriminated? Well, that is a question assuming importance in equal half. This debate kick-started after the White House interned Monica Lewinsky's fling with the then US President Bill Clinton, who had promised her an internship at the White House. The larger question which encompasses the issue is how well equipped are we to fight it well?
And to discuss the issue on why female talent is not tapped, we have in the studio Sameer Goyal, the delivery manager of Infosys, Sharmita Bhinder, a soft skills trainer, Jagdeep Benz, a lawyer at Punjab and Haryana High Court, Sophie Zahoor, the director of HR Quark India and Japan operations, and Anupama Arya, vice chairperson, Young India National CII. Well, thank you all for being with us in the studio. And Sameer, if I do begin with you. When we talk about equal opportunities, do you think business understands gender equality? Do you think we would at any point in time achieve a target which says 50-50?
The way I would like to answer it, does business understand gender equality? The way I see it, maybe it's high time that business should understand this. Because both the genders have so much to offer in terms of capability and commitment, that unless business doesn't take advantage of both the genders, it's not going to grow at the pace at which they want to go. But when I say it, I would also like to add that whenever we talk of gender equality, I don't think we should see it as a single dimensional issue. It's a multi-dimensional issue. It's not that business is only contributing to it. This issue actually creeps into our society right from the young age of a girl child. So the reasons which are contributing towards it is not just the business, and I'll say business alone cannot solve it also. The issue actually comes both at the society end, at the end of how families expect the female child or the mother to act, and then how businesses take.
Yeah.
And unless until everybody comes together, I don't think we can really look at it.
I'll take it forward with your question. You know, Sharmita, he says that it is not just at the workplace. It starts from the time we are kids. So
absolutely, you know what happens is that since birth of a girl, there is disparity between a girl child. A Lodi for a boy is celebrated and it's not celebrated for a girl. A small little thing like this can, you know, how can you then expect in the corporate world that there will be a 50-50 equality, when in the mindset of people, you know, the way they look at a girl child or a boy coming into the family is very different. The same way it's in schooling, you know, if you have 3 or 4 children in the family, the son will go to a private or a public school, the girl will either go to a government school or maybe not, you know. So when there is so much of disparity at such a younger age, and in the urban scenario it's a little different, you know. For us, we've been very lucky that our parents have sent us, and you know, we are very much equal, more so than even the male counterparts in our family. But when it comes to the rural scenario, the women are not even given enough food in the house, you know. The best part of the meal goes to the male child and the male in the family, and by the time it comes down to the girl child, she doesn't even get milk in the house. So, you know, gender equality is something which has to start at a national level, and it has to start at a very basic level.
Jagdeep, you're a lawyer, so you must be, I mean, you meet people from all sections of society constantly. Do you think there's a huge disparity between men and women?
There is a huge disparity, but talking about the legal profession itself, the evolution here and the reduction in the gender inequality is tremendous. And I think it's been the fastest in our legal profession, because I remember 15 years ago when a girl used to appear, a lady advocate used to appear in the High Court, and the only assumption used to be she's come for an adjournment. That much confidence was not imposed into her that yes, she can stand there, prepare, individually argue a case. Whereas girls, the lady advocates, have proved their point. Now when a lady advocate stands up, it means she's fully prepared, and that has really reduced the gender inequality in our courts itself. And like my friend has just spoken out here, yes, it has to start at the grassroots. The gender inequality exists in every home. Till that is not taken away, it's a social problem more than a legal problem. Socially, people have to accept the fact that women are equally competent, and that will come even in homes. Men will have to start sharing the responsibilities, sharing the duties. Only then it will start reducing, and that is the only time women will be recognized as equals. And yes, that day will come. It will reduce. It will become 50-50.
Sophie, what would you have to say? Especially, you know, coming from an IT industry, what would you, where do you see this full, you know, the play of women in this sector?
I think each one of my colleagues here have given their perspective, and I so agree, you know, all aspects. This is a social issue. I can tell you from the perspective of IT, I mean, Sameer can endorse it. Business, and Anupama is here, she heads a large company. Business is ready for this. Business doesn't, it's not about business, are we giving the equal opportunity or not. I think if getting to the 50% ratio, I see at this point of time difficult. It's not non-achievable unless the classroom ratio does not increase. This ratio is it is, I'm saying it's not impossible, but it's a far-fetched ratio, and in the IT industry the ratio is about 80-20%, you know, and if we get to about 22 to 25% in the next 4 or 5 years, we'll be in a good situation. But the basic point is that, you know, there are some of the very important things which we have to understand. Point number one, 73% of our population lies in the rural area.
Right.
27% of the lies in the urban area. So that's a huge gap. And you will see an interesting data in rural area. As the child passes in the class and moves in the grade high, the attendance ratio moves down. And this is something which is happening in the rural area. The other part of it, I was, you know, going through some of the statistics recently, is that there's a very startling information is that the sex determination is higher in the higher classes than in the poorer classes.
Chandigarh has the maximum.
And the good population is, and with all of us here having going with a single child philosophy, a good population is decreasing in India. So I think these are the very important data points which we have to look at a grassroots level. You know, I understand some family issues, and you know, those are very important issues. I think the basic issues have to be addressed, looked up, and these are all related to the social issues. And the moment we look at any of these variables and change one single variable, you will see the change happening, you know, up. Business is, it's not about business is ready or not. I mean, we strongly believe, I've been with 16 years of HR experience, I strongly believe in this philosophy that the amalgam of a good ratio of a man and a woman is a great composition for success. And the large economies in the world have realized it 20, 30, 50 years before, and we got to realize that. And if we have to compete with the, you know, world economy, we have to realize that diversity and inclusiveness of, you know, the sex, you know, inclusiveness of equality is a very important aspect for if we have to hit there. So I think there's lots of issues which needs to get to there. Should we be when do we be there in 50-50 ratio? So, and I'm very optimistic about it. We should get there. I don't know, is it 10 years, 15 years, 20 years?
At the moment you're saying it's an 80-20 ratio. So in 10 years you think you'll achieve the 50-50. Is a long shot.
It's a long shot, but it's not, I think,
it's not undoable.
If a person like Sameer, this is the most respected organization in the country, if he's very positive, I have no reason to be negative about it. But this is the 20%, 80-20 ratio is from an IT perspective, and classroom ratio is in a horrible situation.
Yeah, let's get Anupama in. Anupama, since you head an organization and you're working with CII, and Young India especially, where do you see the women's role now coming in as far as work is concerned?
I think women, on a more optimistic note, have made huge strides. You know, when I was graduating, even in engineering, in computer science and in electronics, which are considered women-oriented fields, the ratio of women was really, really small, 10% or something. And we see that getting more balanced. We see that getting more balanced even at entry level. So, yes, that change has happened. And it's happened with the families and everyone believing that women could make this change. So if we talked about the fact that businesses realize that diversity is very important.
Right.
And diversity is going to become very important, because if you want to be innovative, if you want to compete globally, you need the best of ideas, and the best of ideas come from a diverse set of people. It can't be just from one set, because it just doesn't happen. And to be competitive, businesses will have to take this on, and they already realize that. The barriers, I think, are more from a society point of view. They're also from the women's own mindset as to what is the challenge, how far do they want to take this challenge, and will they be able to get the support that they think they've got some, but will they be able to get in the next stage?
I think that is the most important topic.
Right.
I'm going to take a very short break, but after the break we're going to discuss, is the home supportive, is society supportive for women to take it on further? We are discussing why do women the world over still struggle to enjoy the same status and opportunities as men. Well, just before the break, we've gone into that, yes, it's very, very doable. 50-50 is there. And now let's take a look at what is actually stopping us. Sameer, like you were saying, yes, society to an extent, but even business.
Yeah. So when I look at business, specifically when I look at my experience from IT industry, the phenomena which I am seeing is that the ratio is comparatively better at a fresh starting level. When engineers join the organizations, the ratio may be around 35 to 65 or so, especially these days. But this starts deteriorating as it has to move to middle management level and then senior management.